Oh, gosh. So a debate doesn't align with his peaceful values, but a boxing fight with someone that's he looks like he's about 5 weight divisions above me, that aligns with his peaceful values. I dare say he should probably check his peaceful values. After months of lying to his gullible followers and fellow Jew haters, hate crime hoaxer HashbTaye decided to set the record straight about who really firebombed his Burgertory store and home, not by coming clean, relax, but rather by challenging me to a boxing fight, which I ignored until his ridiculous offer made headlines. So then I reached out to the prominent anti-Israel activist with a counteroffer that I would have thought such an honest man of peace could not resist. And I wrote, "Hi Hash, Avi Yemini here from Rebel News. I understand you've challenged me to a boxing match, which I respectfully decline as I don't believe violence is the answer. However, I'd like to counteroffer a peaceful debate as dialogue is needed now more than ever. Are you up for it?" Seems fair. Seems like something a self-proclaimed activist for peace would want to do. But this is what I got back in return. "Avi, that's not a counteroffer. I laid out both options and you didn't respond to either. The first was the boxing match. The second being a private conversation with no cameras." Yes, I'm a little bit wary of meeting HashbTaye and his friends without any evidence. Anyways, I'm not interested in a televised or recorded debate. It will go in circles with both of us trying to paint the other as evil or righteous in our own cause, as well as creating an echo chamber for people that follow us to abuse each other. What I would be willing to do is catch up with you for a coffee and get to know you and your views through respectful dialogue. I am all for love and peace. If you're keen, let me know. If not, that's fine. Hash. So I got back to Hash quite quickly because I thought we're getting somewhere. "I'm happy to meet you for a coffee. However, I'm confused as to what you thought a boxing match would achieve. I could see all your offer did so far was, in his words, create an echo chamber for the people who follow you to abuse me." You can just read his comments under that post and you'll see that. Again, I'll happily meet you for a coffee, but surely two adults talking it out with a large audience can only be positive in breaking down barriers. But I do understand if you're not confident enough to back yourself and your views in a live debate. Gosh, I wish he did debate, but to be honest, after the entire exchange, I think I was pretty spot on. He's way too scared to put his views under the test. He got back to me with this interesting message. "I understand your perspective, but I don't see anything confusing in offering a boxing match. Boxing is a regulated sport with rules and safety measures in place, allowing participants to channel their energy and resolve conflicts in a controlled and lawful environment. It promotes discipline, respect, and fair play, which aligns with my peaceful values." Oh, gosh. So a debate doesn't align with his peaceful values, but a boxing fight with someone that's he looks like he's about 5 weight divisions above me, that aligns with his peaceful values. I dare say he should probably check his peaceful values. His moral compass seems to be a little bit skewed, but you know, it does make sense. This is a guy that has been rallying against Israel since the worst atrocity against the Jewish people since the Holocaust. He can paint it however he likes, like he likes to do, but that's exactly what's been happening. I don't think he has any peaceful values, and this just another example of it. "The goal isn't to harm, but to engage in a structured, consensual activity where both parties understand the risk and benefits." It sounds like he's trying to sleep with me there. Gosh. "Also, don't try to bait me with your backhanded comments, my friend." That's true. I was trying to bait him with my backhanded comments, but I also stand by him. "Send me the following and I promise to take it into consideration." Then he breaks down what he wants, information around any proposed debate. He wants to know the scope and focus. He wants to know the objective, the format, the moderation, the rules, the audience, the sources, the impact. And then there's another final paragraph where it says, I will also need to speak to my legal team to make sure that they are happy with me to participate, as we have several legal proceedings on foot with various parties. Hash. Now, I took it on face value at the time that Hash actually wrote that. But you'll see in a minute, Hash didn't write most of that. In fact, Hash can't think for himself. He had to use AI. But before we get to that, I still answered it in good faith. I had him talking, maybe we can get somewhere with this. So I said to him, a boxing match seems like a very bizarre way to express one's peaceful values. But I guess we can agree to disagree on that one. Regarding the proposed debate, I'm pretty flexible. Whatever you choose or get approved by your legal team. We can keep the scope to the current situation or include historical. However, I would also like to discuss what's played out in Australia since October 7. So I wasn't going to lie to Hash. I really wanted to talk about what he's been up to and his group has been up to here in Australia since October 7. My objective would be to show both sides and anyone tuning in that respectful debate is possible around this issue in Australia, and I stand by that. We can confirm the format and rules once you agree to do it. I'd suggest online, as it won't take any resources and we already have the infrastructure in place. But again, I'm flexible. I just wanted to make this happen. I think we're adult enough to do it without a moderator, but I'm not against having one. In fact, he can choose the goddamn moderator. I don't think we need a rule around sources. I don't think he's debated very much, because if either party questions a source, that will form part of the debate. If you use Al Jazeera as your only source, then I'm going to point out, Hash, that you're using a terrorist state-funded propaganda outlet as your only source, and people can decide. I hope a civil debate would lead to mutual respect and some level of understanding of the opposing views between us and the viewers. Let me know what you think. Now, I didn't hear anything for that. When was that? That was on Thursday at 8:17 p.m. And then it was Friday, 4:35 p.m. I wrote back, "We doing this, mate?" Almost immediately, Hash responds with, "Unfortunately not." Imagine my shock. Hash used the exact excuse that he had planted at the end of his previous message. He says, legal team said it could prejudice our cases. However, if you want to catch up for an off-the-record chat, more than happy to host you. Hash. Now, yep, laugh out loud, right? It was quite clear that he never had an intention to debate. He was just, he set the groundwork and essentially use that excuse that he planted on the first day. So I thought, I'll get him on the phone so he can't quickly answer. He can't quickly use AI to form his responses. Now, he didn't answer the first time. I tried again a few hours later, which was at about 4:17. He sent me a text. "Sorry, I can't talk. Can you please text me?" Oh, the sign of a coward. Hash could talk. Hash is too scared to talk. Hash wants it in text because Hash wants to be able to formulate his response using AI, you coward. Anyway, I wrote back to him. "I'm just here with my producer and we were discussing our conversation. I guess we wanted to see what specific issues the lawyers were worried about and see if maybe we could still run the debate but avoid discussing those topics, unless you're only using the legal advice as an excuse to avoid the debate." Also, he noticed that your long message about the debate structure was written by AI, aside from the final paragraph about your lawyers. That's a bit odd, but this is a bit cheeky of me. But I'm happy for you to use AI in the debate if you need. I'm basically saying we will do whatever you want, need, or prefer to make this debate happen. I think it's important. And I think those of you that are watching this because you're HashbTaye fans, in a moment you'll hear all the questions I pose him and you should be asking him these questions. But encourage him to debate. Why not debate? Let's have the conversation. If he's really as honest and as true and believes in what he's saying as he claims to be, and he proudly does on a daily basis at protests around our state, then surely he can back himself in a debate. Surely he can annihilate me in a debate, whether we're talking about the Middle East or here in Australia. Anyways, he responds, thanks for your messages, Avi. I hope you're having a great start to your week. Rebel News and yourself have been considered as parties subject to various legal claims. Ooh. Due to the above, it has been highly recommended that I do not share a public platform with you. Also, do you really think that I'm somebody that you could bait into tilting by making certain insinuations? I'm not like the other people that you've approached that are reactive to your tactics. Be genuine, please. I like genuine and authentic people. I wrote back. Oh, scary stuff. Although it's a little ironic how somebody using AI to formulate his text messages wants genuine and authentic communication. Just to ensure I understand you correctly, your lawyers have okayed a boxing match, but not a debate with me because y'all considering suing me. That makes absolute sense, Hash. Since you're now threatening legal action, I better be extra careful and give you the right to reply to a story I've been working on. You see, this would have been part of the debate. This is what Hash was so scared of, having to answer these questions, because he loves to frame things in a certain way to his audience that suits their narrative, things that they want to hear, complete and utter lies. But he never brings the receipts, never brings the evidence. Here are the receipts, and I'd love for Hash to answer each and every one of them. And it would be even better if he did it on a platform where he can't hide behind his answer without being held accountable for whatever claim he now makes. I'm open to it. So to those of you Hash lovers, you should tell him to do it, because I'm willing to put myself in the place, in the position for him to destroy me. We could do it live. So please provide any response or comment you'd like to include to the following questions. 1. Just before the Burgertory firebombing, you were on a podcast condemning the now dubbed tobacco wars.
And forget the Middle East. Let's talk about Australia. Look at all the people burning each other's shops down. They're all Arabs. They're Arabs burning Arab shops down. Why? Why aren't we supporting one another? And that's my problem.
Why did you then jump to blame the Jews when you, an Arab who owns tobacco shops, was targeted days later? 2. Why do you continue to blame Jews for the firebombing of your Caulfield store and home when one of the arrested suspects has been charged for his alleged involvement in the same tobacco wars you were discussing? Is it not far more likely that it has something to do with you being the owner of Easy Marts across Melbourne? For those of you who don't know Easy Marts, they're quite significant players who sell a fair bit of tobacco and vapes. The exact thing that, in Hash's words, has been the wars between different factioning Arab groups that he seems to have potential connections with. I didn't actually think anyone was dumb enough to fall for Hash's story, especially after one of the suspects arrested have been charged also for the tobacco wars. But it blew my mind when I actually met HashbTaye fans. They truly believe it. They believe everything this man says without questioning anything.
Why don't you respond to Hash's post?
Why did Hash blame Jews for firebombing his shop?
They did. Or Jew supporters. It was purely a hate crime.
You really believe that? Even though they caught the suspects, they caught him. And he's part of the tobacco wars.
Anyways, my third question. I believe you previously encouraged your followers to boycott Israeli brands and products. However, at a recent protest, you claimed to initiate an investigation using Fiverr, a proud Israeli company.
The night before this attack,
We were in the CBD rallying, calling for the expulsion of the Israeli ambassador. And Avi Yemeni, that dog, put up a post and he lied. He said Hash is calling for the death of Jews on the streets of Melbourne. This type of incitement, this type of hatred is what led to my family being attacked. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the disappointing part of it. I had an update from Victoria Police last week. Victoria Police said to me that they still have no suspects. Victoria Police said to me, I asked them, I said, do you know what car the person came in? What do you think they said? No. They said no, but let me tell you something. This is how simple it was. I grabbed the footage from my CCTV camera. I went to www.fiverr.com and I sent that footage to a forensic analyst to enhance the image. Within 24 hours, I know what car they came in.
Well, there you go. Not only did he blame me for his house being firebombed, but he uses Israeli products when it suits him. Anyways, Hash got back to me. He clearly ran out of AI credits, so he wrote, "You're a great reporter. I'm sure you'll write the truth." So last night, I thought there's no way he's engaging any further, but I actually do have to give him the right to reply, and I did, to some of the other questions I would have put to him in a live debate, and I'm still open to do it. Guys, encourage your hero. Thanks for the compliment. The truth is absolutely what we're after. And in that vein, I have a few supplementary questions that form part of my story. After the November 10 fire at Caulfield Burgertory, you initially declined to give a statement to Victoria Police. Why did you initially decline to give a statement? The fire caused a reported $450,000 in damages. Has your insurer paid for the damages? 6. Is your business insurer conducting its own investigation into the cause of the fire? 7. This is what I'm getting at. A GoFundMe was established to raise $300,000 to rebuild Burgertory Caulfield, and you are named as a beneficiary. So far, over $63,000 has been raised. What have you spent the money on? Especially if the insurance paid out. 8. The GoFundMe is called Rebuild Burgertory Caulfield. Do you intend to reopen Burgertory in Caulfield? If you don't reopen, will you return the GoFundMe money, given the money was given on the basis that the store would be rebuilt? 9. 2 men have been charged over the fire, Wael Mana and Habib Musa. Do you have any social connection to either man, directly or indirectly? 10. You're often referred to Melbourne as Naarm on social media at the protests and chant, "Always was, always will be Aboriginal land," followed by "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." Is that meant to imply Australia, like Israel, is what you perceive to be an illegitimate colonial entity and resistance is justified by any means necessary? Again, I remind him of the deadline, which was 9 a.m. this morning. I didn't get a response. But it is important to note, because if you look through Hash's social media, you will see he uses the same language against Israel, against Australia here as well. So if he justifies resistance in Israel because it's an illegitimate colonial Western state, then I'm worried for what he's promoting here in Australia. And I've said this from the beginning. If you're going to side with him, remember, you don't have to care about Israel. But if you care about Australia, they're coming for you next. And Hash, that little vague threat of yours that you're going to sue me, bring it on. I would love to cross-examine you and test everything you say and do, or your claims about Jews targeting your shop and your home. I bet you won't do it, because that's going to be one interesting cross-examination and discovery. If you think it's important for the world to see who this leader of the anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian movement here in Australia really is, make sure to like, comment, but most importantly, share it far and wide, because the mainstream media, they've given this guy a free pass for too long, and it's time to hold him accountable. You've got to remember, HashbTaye incited a riot in the heart of the Jewish community because of his lies. So it's up to you to finally expose him for what he is. And then, guys, As you can see, I'm in my new studio. We're about 90, I think we've actually about 75% of the way of funding it, because we did go over. We blew the budget by about $20,000, if I remember correctly. But you can check out all the details at buildourstudio.com. None of this is possible without you. We'll continue to hold these people accountable every single day, but we need your help. Buildourstudio.com. Get it done.